It's now time for Me and My Roku with your host, Peter Clay.
Muppets Censored?
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
More CEOs named Peter.
Peter Clay is here today. Holy crap, it's Peter.
Oh, I love Peter. Pete, are you able to say something nice?
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another fabulous edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. Well, I guess the first question is, where have I been, right? It's been a little while since I've been with you. It's been about a month. And a lot has happened and all that stuff, so I'll get into all that later in the program. First, a little recap here. Did you miss me? Did you even know I was gone? It's kind of funny when I look at my numbers being off for a month and they're up. So either people really missed me or just discovering me or all that good stuff. And maybe don't even notice or cared or anything like that. And that's okay too. Brief explanation if you're just joining me for the first time. This is a show about me and my Roku and streaming devices. I'm agnostic to these things. They're all fine. I'm not tribal. It's Roku or nothing else. I use just about everything that's available out there, mostly for these purposes, for you. And then I come back and I discuss these things, and maybe you can get some ideas for yourself on how to handle your cord cutting or just streaming in general. You don't even have to cut the cord if you don't want to. It's all good. There's no right, no wrong, or anything along those lines. So, disclosure, I'm not endorsed or paid or anything by anybody. Roku, Amazon, Google, Apple, along those things. These are just things that I enjoy doing, and I feel an obligation to come back and share those ideas. Live to give, as I like to say. So, as I said, I've been gone for a little while. What's been going on? We got a lot to get to, so let's get started.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Okay, so I'm back. I'm here. I'm here for you. Here to give all that good stuff. And I took a little time off just to have a whole bunch of things kind of going on, all kind of coming together all at once. And just to make some time just to chit-chat about streaming services and cord cutting and all that stuff didn't seem like the biggest deal in the whole wide world. So I just kind of tried to take care of a whole bunch of stuff. But I will, in transparency and all that stuff, kind of give you an update of what's been going on and all that good stuff in the meantime. So one of the issues that happened is around the holidays, one of our cats, not the one that keeps jumping on my lap while I'm recording, the other one, the one we love. Just kidding, we love all our animals. We just took him in for a routine checkup, and something happened, and not important of what that is because that's still being sorted out, but something happened, and that's been a lot of time consuming and a little stressful to us here in the house, and we just want to make sure that we're taking care of him and all that stuff. He's still with us. He's doing the best that he can, but it's requiring time and all that stuff. And we don't think, we know that they're not our children and all that stuff, but they're living creatures and they love to explore. And these have been our pals and stuff. And so they provided a lot for us, and we want to provide the best. So that's taken a bunch of our time. We did have a change of life issue in the house. Not important. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's good. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be real good as things move on and stuff. But that has taken time and changes of insurances and doctors and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So not important, but kind of cuts into the streaming time and time to do all that stuff. So on the more relevant front, when I have had time, I have been exploring and doing a whole bunch of stuff, and even have spent time with the other devices like Fire TV and Chromecast and Apple TV. As a matter of fact, Chromecast and Apple TV both had updates in the last month, so I had to check all that stuff out and all the good stuff. We had to cut YouTube TV, And basically because we only had it for the football season, and so once football was over, we got rid of that. And after discussion, it was just up against the billing, and I know it doesn't cost me anything out of my pocket. As you know, I do things with gift cards, but I have a gift card balance and a budget there, and I was up against it, and I thought, let's let go of HBO Max for now. And, of course, I'm getting emails already saying, come on back. Like I said many times, sometimes you need to go away in order to come back, type of thing. So, kind of like this show. I go away for a month just so I can come back. Maybe you'll miss me. And then when I come back, you're like, oh, Pete's back. Oh, yay. But in the meantime, just before it ran out, we did a binge of HBO Max, got my Scooby-Doo fix in, and we watched The Flight Attendant. And a little more dramatic than I thought it was going to be. And if you're a child of alcoholic parents and all that stuff, it might be a little much for you and all that stuff. But all in all, pretty fascinating series. And it'll be interesting to see. It's been renewed for a second season of where they go from there. So a couple little things that they left the door open to and all that. So we have been in this household then relying pretty much on Prime Video, Hulu, which I got for half price because I was off of it for a little while, Peacock, and Discovery Plus. Plus, I'm also I'm debating about what to do about CBS All Access, because as you know, in a couple of weeks it's becoming Paramount Plus, and so I'm debating on what to do on that, because I don't feel, because I'm getting it not just through my Apple credits, but I'm actually getting it through Apple TV. And it has its own menu that I have to go through, its own interface. And I don't feel like I'm getting everything that CBS All Access has to offer. I'm debating what to do next on that. Billing's coming up in about a couple of weeks, just after the name change to Paramount Plus. So maybe I'll just wait for that, and then we'll see. Now, the other issue on that is I'm getting a 2-for-1 special. That's the reason why I'm doing it through the Apple TV, is I'm getting CBS All Access and Showtime for one price. And I'm not sure how much longer that, if I get rid of it, if I can go back to it. And so that, because that was in another emergency with Showtime then that came in. So there's just some things you have to do as a spouse and husband and all that stuff that, sometimes home shopping channels don't fix. Sometimes a box of chocolates and a gallon of ice cream can't fix. Sometimes you have to go extreme and you need the whole Twilight Saga. And I needed that, and Showtime bailed me out for that. Emergencies here, in a pandemic. Sometimes you need everything that you can get. And so the 2-for-1 special. So a lot of hard decisions that have to be made. So I'm still getting that package and all that stuff. So that's basically the gist of what's been going on for the month. So I have a month's worth of news and notes to go through and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I just wanted to give you the update that I'm still here, still alive, still chugging. Cat's still alive. Little Missus is still going, chugging away. And we still have Roku, Chromecast, Fire TV, and everything, and phones, and tablets, and everything else to get us through. We are doing fine. Hope you are as well. And so we got plenty of stuff to get you here on Me and My Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Not too close. Let's keep our distance. We're almost to herd immunity. We're going to get there, but we're not there yet. But just come a little bit closer here, and we can have a little chit-chat, a little discussion about things. Hold on, now that. Lots of things going on in the podcasting universe between Spotify, iHeartMedia, and all that stuff. Bunch of people who are doing podcasts are switching platforms and all that stuff. Well, we don't have to do that here. And by we, I mean me. Because bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts that I've done since 2005 have been provided by the Internet Archive. I have not had to do anything else, and they haven't asked for anything else, except since I like to give so much, I like to give back a little bit and thank them and tell them how much I love them at the Internet Archive, available at archive.org. So much going on over there with open libraries, last chance books being preserved. Not just preserving the internet, but libraries and anything they can get their hands on. 78 records, all that good stuff. Please check them out today at archive.org. All the good stuff that's going on over there, because it's changing daily. And if I can help them one of these days get a regular Roku channel, not just a private channel that's been donated and all that stuff, we can get that going too. So maybe help support that as well. Check them out today, archive.org. A lot of the things that I do, that I get my programmings for, that I can come back and report to you. I get credits, and I pile them up. And I either put them into PayPal, or I put them into Apple. And I can get these programmings that I can share with you, and boy, you know what? You can do the same thing. You don't have to do it crazy like I do. I'll just give you one little opportunity here for you, not all the 4 or 5 that I do, like a crazy person. And check that out today at swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. If you use that link that I just say there, and I do have a link where you get this podcast on there too, check that out today. That gets you all set up. That helps you, that helps me, and it helps them too as well. It's win-win-win for everybody. Check that out today and see how you can get started collecting points for yourself or credits and all that you can use for gift cards or coupons or whatever it is that you want to do. That I use it to get this programming. You can do it for whatever you want. Get started today at swagbucks.radioaffliction.com, and you want to preserve the internet and open libraries and all that good stuff. Check that out today at archive.org.
I can't stand losing you. Crazy from the heat.
Okay. Well, one thing I forgot to mention in my time off from this podcast and reaching out to you and all that good stuff that I totally forgot about is that if you remember a year ago, I turned half century and I had a big celebration just before COVID had hit in a little place that we like to call Las Vegas. And turns out then a whole bunch of other people wanted to share that experience with me, and I had about 17 people over, and we all fit into this one restaurant there that they were very capable of. And so, as you recall, I came in here, cried a little bit and all that stuff, and thanked everybody and all that stuff, and said I would be forever in debt and all that stuff. Well, one of my friends heard that and decided to cash in on that. And he had his 50th birthday during the pandemic then, and we couldn't have a big party for him. So he called me up and said, hey, I want to do this for another friend of ours who's having his 50th birthday, and he's like wanting to know if I want to come along and all that stuff. And he didn't put a guilt trip on me, but I just felt obligated since he did that for me and we couldn't celebrate his. Let's do a triple play here and all that good stuff. I get to pay back. We celebrate his 50th and then our friend's 50th and all that stuff. So we went and did a little road trip safely and had a good time and all that stuff. And so in the meantime, staying at a hotel, and I started doing a podcast that I was going to try and put out as a special because I was in my hotel rooms and all that stuff trying to, figure out how to do streaming and all that stuff. Brought a Roku with me and all that stuff. But then, somewhere along the line, when I got to my destination and all that stuff, the recorder, the Android, nothing against Android, just happens. It was an old Android device. It decided to crap out on me and do a constant Google loop at the beginning. So I lost that recording, so I couldn't be with you. But that was another thing that was going on, and it was a fun time, and it was good to at least relief of paying one of my 50th birthday debts off. Only 15 to go now. So anyway, so let's do a little expanded news and notes of the things that have gone on for the last month or so. So some people are getting a little freaked out about Netflix. And as you know about this show, I'm Netflix agnostic. I don't have Netflix, so I don't talk about it very much. I do have a gift card ready to go for a month of Netflix for when one of our shows comes back that we like to watch. But so I'm neutral on Netflix. I like it fine. I just think that too many people think that cutting the cord means Netflix and Netflix only and all this stuff. And part of having the Roku or any of these devices is the whole world of streaming is out there for you. And there's more to life than just Netflix. And some people are getting a little freaked out about it because it knows so much about you. It is now available on most Netflix accounts now, the Play Something. So you just get there and based on your viewing habits and all stuff, they put on something that you think you might like. Well, now, on Android, not on the Roku, so I really shouldn't be talking about it, but, just to kind of fair play on everything here, the Netflix is now coming out with Download for You. Now, this is an opt-in thing for you on your Android device, and you can decide then, once you opt in for it, whether you want to give your device now the ability to download 1 gigabyte, 3 gigabytes, or 5 gigabytes of data, of which they'll pick programs for you, either TV shows or movies or something along those lines. Now, some people are having a little bit of a thing saying, it's reading my mind. But on the other hand, other people are like, there's so much stuff, I don't know what to do, type of thing. So mostly it's a test, and they're testing on the Android first. Obviously, you're not going to put it on your Roku because you're not downloading things and all that stuff. So, anyway, that's the Netflix news as far as that goes, and it's okay. And like I said, Netflix is fine. We'll pick it up for a month or so, and we'll see what happens. They don't give me enough opportunities to want to come back. They don't offer even 30-day trials anymore, which I was like one of the last ones to get one last summer. So, not much in rent, but I do have that gift card ready to go and win it. Okay, since we got rid of YouTube TV, local news, that's a big thing for someone in this household. Not me, but that's okay. So one of the things, when I said that I actually paused YouTube TV for 2 months, but I'll probably cancel it, was what to do about the local news. She had just gotten used to where to go to get the news. Of course, it's right there waiting for it because it knows what you want to do. So one of the things, I did get the news channel that she likes app, but she really likes Vuit. I've talked about this many times, all that stuff. But now Vuit is more than just your local news. It's got the exclusive Iditarod Sled Dog Race. Okay, let me say this again. The exclusive home of the Iditarod Sled Dog Race. They have the complete coverage on there on Vuit. But then also going through Vuit, when she got done with the local news, she found other things on there, like a little show called 100% Chance of Wine, which a local TV reporter would go around and look at the local wineries in the state of Washington. 2 seasons of it, as a matter of fact. Or maybe it was just 1 season. I don't know. But there's other things on Vuit, so I just wanted to give that little update on there. Also, T-Mobile, once again, will be offering a full season of MLB TV to subscribers beginning March 30th as part of T-Mobile Tuesday. So far, baseball's full go, as far as we know. Pitchers and catchers have reported. Full team workouts are now going up. Spring training games are set for about a week from this recording. So, whew. Disney Plus is expanding its parental controls, also including warnings about sensitivity on certain programs. Now, this came up mainly with the release of the Muppets show, all 5 seasons. We talked about that a month ago when I first came back. They were coming out. Well, it's on there now. But then people noticed there was these little different warnings on certain episodes of all that stuff about sensitivity, about race, and different things. Now, I guess for me, I was more concerned about this one of the Muppets coming there and blowing people up. But I guess apparently doing Native American and Indian and European and different gender things and all that stuff. I guess that was more concerning for them. But that's that's there, and they're warning. And there's also settings that you can go to for parents if you wish. Also, Disney also reported 94 million subscriptions to Disney Plus. And the only reason why that's important is because that was their goal 4 years from now. They've already reached it. So whether that was just the pandemic or anything along those lines, who knows? But that's where they're at. Or they're just popular and really good service. Who knows? Hulu and ESPN Plus, part of the Disney tree, also showed signs of growth and all that. 6 weeks in, Discovery Plus has 11 million subscribers. They had 3 within their first 3 weeks, and now 6 weeks in, 11 million. And just as a point of reference, it took 6 months for HBO Max to get that many subscribers. So one of those things where the enormity of the Discovery Scripts channels, and that you get on cable, and all that, and some of the other things that they're putting in, the exclusives that they're putting on there. So they're taking off kind of wildfire, and a pretty important part of this household here. The Magnolia Network that Discovery owns is delaying once again its linear package. So they were going to go on to cable channels last October. They're pushing it off until this fall, again, on cable channels, but will be premiering July 15th on Discovery Plus as part of their programs. Now, a lot of these things that they were going to put on the Magnolia Network, because they were going to launch last October, is already in the can. So they're going to just launch it. And I have a feeling, actually, that Discovery Plus is going to be the main hub of that for Chip and Joanna Gaines and all the other programming they were going to put on there. So I have a feeling that Discovery Plus is going to be the hub for that mostly, but cable channels now streaming for, trying to get content, will say, we'll take it. We'll take Chip and Joanna, whatever it takes. Roku also reported earnings, and boy, whether it's a pandemic or whatever, they had a good quarter last year too, for the holidays and all that stuff. And so, going through the numbers and all that stuff, some people started to make assumptions again that I just, Tom Merritt, who does Cord Killers and the Daily Tech News Show, I've talked about him in the show. Sweet person, love him dearly, and all that stuff. He's got a good perspective on things, but sometimes he just says things that just takes things a little too funny. Like he mentioned how Roku was under pressure to get HBO Max in, when Roku was not under pressure at all. All the pressure was on HBO Max and all that stuff. Now, he's kind of reporting that, well, based on these numbers now, that Roku is an ad company. And the truth is, Roku is a well-diversified company, actually. Yes, they make a good part of their income now from advertising on the Roku channel, but now they're getting into original programming. Now they also still do hardware and software and licensing of that software and other TVs and all that stuff. So there's more to it than just advertising and all that stuff. So that's one of the things. Now, people have noticed now too, though, as far as the original content goes, they noticed a little job posting on Roku for a lawyer, or someone to help negotiate and do contracts for original programming. So some people noticing that, jumped on that and are making assumptions. But it's a good notion, since Roku did acquire the Quibi content, and they'll start premiering that pretty soon. They also have the options with that programming of offering additional seasons of some of that programming as well. So I'm sure some negotiations need to be involved in that. It was just a little public of how they were looking for that job posting there. So how about some updates also on the advertising video on demand? It is growing like wildfire. Like if you get Mint or Creeping Charlie in your yard, it can take over your whole yard. AVOD just keeps on growing. Pluto TV is averaging about 4 new channels a week. They've also partnered with Markout Media for more free wrestling. And they also have an 8-hour block of Retro Crush anime. That was their big stuff. Roku Channel added 13 live channels. And Tubi is adding nearly 80 local news station feeds. So Tubi getting into the local news feed and all that stuff, along with the news that they added back in November, including Bloomberg and Weather Nation and stuff that you can find on all the other ones too. And our clickbait headline of the show. 40% of people would rather watch TV with their dog than their significant other. Which means they would rather just watch TV alone. Because then you don't have to get in, well, you don't want to watch this, I want to watch that. So I'm just going to sit here with Buffy here, and we're going to watch what we want to watch. That's what that means. And we have a brand new, we just added this on our Roku. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to check it out as soon as I'm done with the show here. A new streaming service. Okay? Now I want you to guess the name of it, okay? So I'm going to give you some hints here, and see if you can figure out what the name of this app channel is going to be, okay? So It's a free channel. It's ad-supported, okay? And it has documentaries in it, okay? That's all they do is documentaries, okay? So what do you... Okay, just think in your mind, just think like Karnak from Johnny Carson. Put the envelope to your head and just think what the name of this is going to be. Documentaries. Yes, that's right. Documentaries Plus. Yes, another plus. We've got it. Whew. Oh, we went a whole month almost without a Plus channel, and we've got it now with... and I get the whole spiel right here. So the new streaming service in town, very niche. Documentary Plus is a free streaming service available on all devices with a curated selection of films for every docu-lover. Now, I'm wishy-washy. I'll even say the term that I like, agnostic, towards documentaries. A lot of them are slighted by the filmmaker, a little biased about the topic they're talking about. But anyway, so there's never been a more exciting time for nonfiction. We're seeing visionary new directors emerge, and streaming is giving documentary films the wide new global audiences. This is from Bryn Mooser, the co-founder of Documentaries Plus. So... yeah, it's available on the Roku, also available on Apple TV, Amazon, mobile devices, and more. Well, that's it, folks. That's the update. So it's been a whole month. That's what's going on here. Got all that tonight. So I'm getting a little itchy. I'm getting a little twitchy because it's been a little while. I'm getting to the rhythm of things. I should probably relax. I probably won't take another month off. But I'll just need a little time to get back to my Roku and everything going on. So I also invite you to check out more of my updates on memyroku.com. If you need to know more about how I get gift cards, you can check out radioaffliction.swagbucks.com. Also want to thank archive.org for their support and providing the bandwidth of this podcast and all my podcasts since 2005. Wow, I've been doing this a long time. That's why I sound so professional when I do this. One way you can help support the program is to subscribe. Let's try that again. One way you can help support this podcast is to subscribe. And you can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on several platforms. I have a list. You ready? You've been waiting a whole month for me to read this list for you, and here it comes. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Gaana, JioSaavn, Himalaya, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, Pandora, and Radio.com. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction and Instagram at Pierre Argyle. But if you need that one-on-one, questions, comments, anything along those lines, you can reach me directly at Me and My Roku Podcast at gmail.com. Hey, throughout this time, I hope you've enjoyed you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I promise I'll be back real soon.